Hello! It's been 2 weeks since we had our last families at home, and Claire told us last time about how the Holy Spirit came and changed Peter from being too frightened to tell people about Jesus to someone who went out and boldly told people the good news about Jesus. Telling people about Jesus can be really hard to do sometimes. At the moment, it's even harder because we can't meet up with all the people that we'd usually see. But it's just as important to do as it ever was, because people need to know that Jesus can rescue them and change them, and they can know that there is hope for the future, that we can be with Jesus forever. Sometimes it might feel scary or embarrassing to tell people about Jesus, even though we love them and we want them to know about him. You know, the Holy Spirit can help us to be brave, and the Holy Spirit can use our words about Jesus to help others. That's really exciting to know, isn't it? Just like God's Holy Spirit changed Peter, he can change us too. And we're going to hear about what Jesus did through Peter and John next. Those of you who are also in Livewires will know something about this story already, as our Livewires video last week was about the same part of the Bible. But don't tune out and think you know all about the story, because there's still lots that God can teach us through it. If you've got some toys at home, or if you want to act it out and play the different people in the story along with me as I tell it, that would be brilliant. One day, Peter and John were going to the temple to worship God. It was 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Peter and John, shall we walk to the temple? And as they were walking past, they saw a lame man who sat outside the temple every day. He had to walk. He couldn't walk. He had to be carried everywhere. How do you feel about not being able to walk? I'm sad. I can't go to work and ask people to earn money, so I have to ask people for it. Oh, Peter and John, could I have some money, please? Oh, I wonder if Peter and John will help them. Peter, can you say, I don't have any money, but I can give you something else? Get up and walk.
I can't give you any money, but I have something. Whoa! Else. Get up and walk.
Get up and walk? Are they crazy? This man's never been able to walk. He was born like that. Now, Peter, can you take this man by the hand and help him up? Can he stand up and walk? He can. Amazing. His legs were no longer weak. He was walking and he was leaping and praising God for healing him.
I want him.
Yeah. Soon a crowd gathered round Peter and John. Miriam, can you bring the crowd over? Can you bring the crowd over, Miriam? Yeah, can you set the crowd up? The crowd gathered round Peter and John. Now, Jesus had healed people when he was on earth. Some people thought Peter and John had special power of their own, but Peter knew it was God who had healed this man. Peter told people all about Jesus. He said it was the power of Jesus that healed this man. But some priests who were listening were angry. Miriam, which one's the priest? Can you choose one of them to be the priest? That one. They didn't believe in Jesus, so they arrested Peter and John and put them in prison.
Washing basket.
They put them in prison.
Where is the washing basket, Benjamin?
They wanted to stop Peter and John telling people about Jesus. I don't think Peter and John were quite as happy as that to be in prison, do you?
We just like being in the washing basket, Mama.
Now, Miriam, do you think being in prison would stop the good news of Jesus spreading?
Nope.
Nope. You know, the Holy Spirit was helping Peter and John. If you've got Bibles in front of you, you could look up Acts 4 a minute. Now, Peter and John loved God and chose to obey him. And God's Spirit also helped them to do this. God's Spirit helped them to continue the work of Jesus, healing people and telling them about God's kingdom. Isn't that amazing? We're going to have a quiz now. At home, I want you to sit on the floor or on the sofa like Miriam and Benjamin. And when you hear something true, I want you to leap up in the air like the lame man did. But if what I say is wrong, then I want you to stay sat where you are. Okay, first question. Peter and John had their own special power to heal people. Is that true or false? You staying where you are?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you're right, because they didn't have their own special power. Who helped them heal people?
Jesus.
Yeah. Next one. God gave Peter and John power to heal the man who was lame. Leaping up into the air like the lame man did. Brilliant. Next one. Peter and John were arrested. Is that true or false? True. Peter and John promised the priests they would stop talking about Jesus. Is that true or false? Did Peter and John promise the priests they would stop talking about Jesus or not? You're staying where you are. You think that's not true. You are right. The Holy Spirit helped Peter and John do the work of God and keep telling people the good news about Jesus.
No.
True. Very good. Last one.
No.
The Holy Spirit helps God's people today. Is that true or false? Brilliant. Very good. Well done, everybody. You did really well at the quiz there. Let me finish by praying for us all. Dear God, thank you for sending your Spirit to help us. We need help to live as Jesus' friends, and sometimes that's hard. Please help us to tell others about you. Amen. We're going to learn our memory verse now. Join along with me at home. I will send you
the
Helper
from the Father.
He is the Spirit
He is the Spirit
of truth.
of truth.
And where can you find it?
And where can you find it?
John 15,
John 15,
verse 26.
verse 26.
A.
Hey!